Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Vicar's Devotional. I'm your Vicar, Mother Sandy. It's Tuesday, July 6th. I know that date. Anyway, so I come on here, I try to do that. I read the gospel from our daily office, and then I do a little reflection on it of what I hear in it. And today, our gospel is taken from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 23, verses 13 through 26. I'm going to read it to you because this one we want to hear. I typically do anyway, but this one in particular, we want to hear. So it says, "But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you lock people out of the kingdom of heaven, for you do not go in yourselves, and when others are going in, you stop them. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you cross sea and land to make a single convert, and you make the new convert twice as much a child of hell as yourselves. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the sanctuary is bound by nothing, but whoever swears by the gold of the sanctuary is bound by the oath. You blind fools, for which is greater, the gold or the sanctuary that has made the gold sacred? And you say, whoever swears by the altar is bound by nothing, but whoever swears by the gift that is on the altar is bound by the oath. How blind are you? For which is greater, the gift or the altar that makes the gift sacred? So whoever swears by the altar swears by it and by everything on it. And whoever swears by the sanctuary swears by it and by the one who dwells in it. And whoever swears by heaven swears by the throne of God and by the one who is seated upon it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint, dill, and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and strength and faith. It is these you ought to have practiced without neglecting others. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat but swallow a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you clean the outside of the cup and of the plate, but inside they're full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup, so that the outside also may become clean." That's the gospel of the Lord right there. So what does this say to us today? First off, what people see on the outside means nothing if the inside of your faith, the inside of who you are, is not being taken care of by God. If we're more concerned with how we present our faith to others, but not how our faith is transforming our lives, there's something wrong with us. If we're more concerned with looking holy versus being holy, there's something going on. And we get this right here. You tithe mint, dill, and cumin, but you've neglected justice and mercy and faith. Micah 6:8 is one of those verses that a lot of people have heard, and it says, oh my gosh, there goes my brain. What is faith, right? Look up Micah 6:8. Walk humbly with your God, love justice, mercy. Walk humbly. If the insides of who we are has not been healed, transformed, made whole by the love of God, the love of Jesus Christ, and we are trying to play church, and we want to look good, but the inside isn't good, then what are we doing? Right? That's the hardest part of getting people to come into church, is when all they hear is the holy that we practice. But when we walk out those doors, we don't live the way Jesus lived. There's an entire generation of people that have no desire to be part of a church because it is hypocritical. And that's what Jesus is coming against. And if you look back at our gospel, read around it, because not far from there, Jesus is flipping tables because of exactly that. They're more concerned with the trappings of religion than the actual love and conversion and transformation that it has to offer. It's not about how we look. It's about how we live.